So what's up?
I'm just waiting to move up back to Denton, get closer to UNT again.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been a minute, man.
It
It
has.
has been a minute.
Last time I saw you, it was at, I think, graduation, and then I saw you Saturday/Sunday at Alyssa's birthday
Yeah.
party.
Yeah. But before that, it was. No, I think I saw you once before, like in between. I probably did.
For me, it was graduation. That's the last time.
Hmm. You're gonna have to speak up a little bit.
Dang.
Yeah, just like get up. Just get up to the mic. You want it about a fist away.
Yeah, it's like you're about to give it a little lick.
Yeah.
Little love, yeah.
Yeah, like right up on it.
Okay, gotcha.
Right
gotcha.
there. There we go. So what's up? How have you been? I know you're at UNT.
Mm-hmm.
We can just start there.
UNT's been great. There's been drama in like my friend group, but it's whatever. I feel like there's drama in every friend group now. Majoring in media arts.
I swear it's always like fine arts.
Do what?
Fine
It's always in
arts.
fine arts. Why is it always in fine arts? Why is there always drama in fine arts?
It's always fine arts.
You know
Just
what?
because I feel it's such like an opinionated major to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Meat.
You know what I think of it, because everyone's so creative and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, fuck, what was I getting to it? I had something, I just lost it.
It's just like a battle for creativity. If you disagree with someone's opinion, they most likely will take it personally, just because
Mhm.
that's what you got to do. I participated in like a short film club up in UNT, and it was very fun. Some of the meetings were lackluster just because the people usually only came when the meeting surrounded like actually making a short film or being in charge of that.
Mhm.
So any of the ones where it was like the best movie where you had to like debate against other people's best movies,
Mm.
that was very entertaining. Usually some people take it as a joke. I didn't realize it when I first went there, so I went in going with Hereditary.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, and it was best horror movie because it was around October. So I went with Hereditary, and someone went with Twister, and that ended up winning.
What?
And the way he represented Twister, it was hilarious. He was just like, ghosts and shit. You want to know what's real? You want to know what's real fucked up and it can happen to you? Twisters, tornadoes, those things exist. You know, you've seen them. There's proof. What do you got? What do you got for ghosts? Nothing.
They do have a point, though.
Yeah,
They do.
but he won just with that argument. It was amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, but I don't think, I mean, what do you consider that? I mean, this is scary in real life.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, whenever I think of scary movies, I think of, like, ghosts. Or, like, borderline aliens.
Mm-hmm. Definitely the unknown.
Depends, the unknown. Yeah. But Twisters, like, that one's just, like, that's a fucked up nature documentary right there. I mean, even
True.
the movie Twister, like, they're in Oklahoma. Or are they in Oklahoma?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's all a bunch of white trash people. Like, no, for nothing against them. I'm just saying the facts. Like, they're like the southern, like typical southern people, and they get the Twister. Like, oh shit, that sounds like a nature documentary.
Yeah.
You
but
know
I
what
guess-
that same thing was?
Hmm.
Tiger King.
Tiger King was great.
Tiger King was something.
I remember watching it and just not thinking it could get like to a new level, and it just went there. It was edited so well, like how it just focused on each of, I guess, the main characters. Carol Baskins, the other guy, I don't know.
The other guy.
Yeah, Carol Baskin's the only one I can remember just because she's still in the news. 'Cause
Damn,
people
Carol
are still
Baskin.
like, yeah.
Like all the memes going on.
Mm-hmm.
That was a weird one, because I would start watching it, and then I'd get, like, after getting lost for a while, I would forget that there's an actual man named Joe Exotic,
Joe Exotic.
and there's an actual place you can go, like, 2 hours north of us. So that was, like, in a way, it was a mindfuck for me, because, like, damn, it's literally right here. We don't have to go very far. You just come to question, like, the amount of crazy people there are among us.
Mm-hmm. Just a
But
couple hours away, and there's a full-on tire enclosure, which is something I can't even imagine would even be in Texas.
I mean, shit, they're all over. Like all
Yeah.
those like roadside zoos. Like you see them as soon as you get out of Dallas, especially you go out east. That's all there is. Like here, there's a driving like exotic animals here, like driving safari. Those are weird.
Mm-hmm.
But
Even the nature safaris.
yeah, you do know that there's more tigers held captive. Oh shit, it's 420. there's there's more tigers held captive in Texas than there are left in the wild,
But I guess
and that's a fact.
just the important thing, they still exist. Like I
Yeah,
heard,
yeah,
what
it's
was
just-
it, the last male white rhino? Like that just died.
Yeah,
Either it just died or I saw like a repost of something.
but
Still,
I think it was last
yeah,
yeah.
but it's a crazy fact though,
Mhm.
because like it's just we live in a weird place. Here, it is also another weird thing, and I've thought about it because I've thought about having like an actual sanctuary, but like, it's like of course I have to have a bunch of money and like money
Yeah.
to invest, and I started to think about it.
Like endgame type deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhat. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
retirement almost.
Yeah.
I definitely want to be able to like own my own land when I get
Oh,
older.
definitely, dude.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'd love to raise animals, have part of like the food I eat or consume is actually created by me.
Yeah, we'll get there in a minute for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was, I had to take that 420 hit. But fuck, what was I talking about?
You're talking about owning livestock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's something about like the ultimate famous people, and like
Mhm.
when it comes to exotic animals, like they somehow get to a point where like you're like fuck people and you start buying livestock, or like not even that livestock, but like the big cats, like fucking Mike Tyson had a pet tiger, and then like what's his name, Pablo Escobar had his own private zoo
Mm-hmm.
with like hippos and shit.
I just gotta hope that they're still being treated well.
That's
Yeah.
it depends on the person.
Like not a flex, but you're taking in animals' actual lives and
yeah.
stuff. You gotta have responsibility for that.
I don't know. It's a weird thing to talk about, like those private zoos.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have places like SeaWorld.
Fuck SeaWorld. I haven't even seen like the documentary Blackfish. I think it's called Blackfin.
Yeah.
It's about SeaWorld and like the actual conditions the animals go through, testimonies from the workers there.
Mm.
But Jesus, I have
It's-
been before, but it was when I was like in the single digit ages where you have like no
Mhm.
control of your life.
Yeah, basically. But that's like they're talking about shit about like Joe Exotic and like these other people that own private zoos. Yeah, you don't start off with SeaWorld,
Yeah.
or like Marineland, that are somewhat or they're known worldwide. And you don't start with them. Like, dude, do you know
Mhm.
how intelligent dolphins are?
I've seen the pictures of
They're-
human and dolphin brains.
Yeah.
Like
They're-
that's insane.
They're crazy intelligent. Like I remember there was a documentary on them. I forgot the name of it, but what they did is that they put like different like robots with cameras in them.
Mm-hmm.
So like they would follow around the dolphin pods. I think it was called a pod, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But yeah. And they put in like a robot that looked just like a dolphin who would swim with them. And like the dolphins would treat him like one of them, 'cause they looked the same. But it was just like the footage that it caught about their behavior, all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
You've heard like the whole thing about dolphins getting high off of pufferfish.
Yeah.
You've
I
heard
feel like
that.
that's real cool in nature. Just how like
Yeah,
animals don't go out
yeah.
to get high. And
It was actually
like, yeah.
from that
just that footage they got.
yeah. It was from that documentary.
Ah.
And then they were saying how, whenever they're jumping, like they jump out of water, do all the flips and that stuff.
Mhm.
Like that's really just recreational. They found out they just get bored and start doing like all these flips outside of water, and like the highest one wins. But
That's crazy.
yeah, and their language is very, very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have all these accents. Well, they're considered, or we would consider them accents, but they're just like different dolphin dialects.
Mm-hmm.
But there was, and then I know that comes with the whole drugs thing. Cause there was a guy named John T. Lilly.
Mm-hmm.
He was huge on like psychedelics and all of that, but he would try to communicate with dolphins, and that was back in like the 1900s. But he would try to communicate with dolphins and like use their language, and that's when they like figured out that every dolphin has a different dialect, and like even whales, they're the same way. They're just giant intelligent mammals.
Yeah. I feel like we had made way more progress since, what did you say it was, the 1920s?
1900s.
1900s.
Mm.
Just because I know we can, communicate sign language with, like,
Mhm.
apes and gorillas and monkeys.
Yeah, we can teach them how to sign language.
So I feel like it would be easier, not easier, but we just make some progress considering the
Mhm.
time that's been there with dolphins.
Well, I mean, obviously there was more studies, but that was kind of like what started it all,
Mm-hmm.
cause they realized how smart dolphins actually are, and it's just interesting them, and then cephalopods are a different level, or octopus, like octopus, squids, pufferfish. Actually, I think they're a cephalopod, but those are extremely intelligent creatures.
I really wish we could, like, explore the ocean more.
It's just difficult.
Yeah. But I mean, I've heard the argument where it's like, what if we just took the, like, NASA's budget and just put it straight toward, like, exploring our oceans, like what's at the very
Mhm.
bottom, what's really down there. But I can't remember why it was disproven, where it was just like it just wouldn't make a difference, really.
Mhm.
Like, we're at the capacity we're at now, but something I wish we'd do is take, like, all of our war budget, all of our defense budget. I know we have to keep it where it is. We can't just shrink it by a huge percent, but just take a little bit of it off and put it more towards science, toward exploration.
Yeah, they're not gonna listen though. It's all
Yeah.
it's all a politics game. That's what's fucked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with a whole like, cause he was one of the people that were into psychedelics as well as Terrence McKenna. Like you've heard about him probably.
I bet I've seen his
Somewhat.
face.
You probably have.
Yeah.
But they were big back in the 60s because that's whenever it really started going, or like it was like the reborn, or like yeah, of the psychedelics. Or else when we rediscovered them, and that they made it illegal in the 70s. And then they would use the excuse that it's a party drug and it's super
Mhm.
addictive. First
put
of
a
all, it's
narrative
not.
behind
Yeah,
it.
they put a whole narrative behind it, and because of that, we had to stop. How do you say it? Stop experimenting because
Mhm.
now it's illegal. And like we can't figure out what the benefits are.
But we're definitely bouncing back, and
Oh,
I feel
yeah,
like
we
that's a
are.
huge strength to just the internet and how you can find so much truth and false now, but usually more truth because there's more
There's
facts
always
and
fact
information. Yeah.
Social media is weird in that way.
I need to take a break from social media, honestly.
We
Like,
all do.
It's honestly crazy, just like when your Wi-Fi goes out and you really like, okay, well, I can't do this thing now because of this one thing. But you just really remember like, wow, all of this social media technology, video games, this is all brand new. Like 25 years ago, nothing.
Mhm.
You'd be living completely different lives, hanging out probably with more people,
Oh,
reading
yeah,
more, just to
definitely.
spend your time.
Yeah, it's that human interaction. I talk about it all the time on here.
Mm-hmm.
How we're really liking that, and because of that, like you tend to find more fucked up people.
Yeah.
Cause like with a whole comparing yourself, like you see someone on social media taking a picture, like, oh yeah, I was out here, blah blah blah, and then you're sitting in your room, you're laying in your bed, and like, damn, look at this person, they're out and having fun. But you don't know that the other person is probably also doing the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but that was just an old picture. And it starts getting into that, as in
Where you just don't really know the person anymore. It's just your perception of them.
it's your perception that you put out there.
Yeah.
Because maybe you're not happy. Maybe you're all fucked up inside,
Mm-hmm.
but you're faking it, and you put like this outer layer for people to see, and it's like, yeah, fuck this person. They're having fun, and you don't know they're depressed.
I feel like there's always a balance to like just the good and bad parts in
Mhm.
life.
Oh, yeah, of
Even the
course.
most you'd think happiest celebrities got it all for them. They definitely have something dark in their closet, something they're
Celebrities are the most fucked up,
still. Yeah.
especially actors.
It's so weird, just the celebrity kind of mentality
Mm.
when you're starting to go up there. Just the amount of money you have and the things you
Yeah.
spend, and you're like, why? There's
That's
nothing to do
also
with it.
like, it's why child actors
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that get the most fucked up.
That's what has me worried just for Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Netflix like live action. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Because I am like hopeful for it, even though the creators recently said that they dipped. God. But just the huge change in life once people like see you in just a live action adaptation like that, like you're gonna be famous for most likely the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But they don't know what that truly means yet, so they can't make that decision for themselves. They
Like
being
it's-
the child actors.
Yeah, and then it's usually like the parents like, oh yeah, here we took
Mhm.
them to like all these agency places, blah blah blah.
It's just so strange just seeing the people that profit off of just like you're only here because
Yeah.
you fit the part
Yeah,
and your age. Yeah.
and then like the fucked up thing about auditions is that there's no way it can't be personal.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you can't have a blind audition, because then you don't know what they're doing. You just like you're listening to them,
Mm-hmm.
but you clearly can't see them. Then the whole point of acting is you have to like act it out.
Mm-hmm. You have to
Like
project.
you have to live as it. So like you could talk a certain way, but if you're just standing still, then it's not gonna come out.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do really good at both. So it just becomes way more personal. When you see the person, maybe they have like a weird feature on their face, and
Mhm.
like although they played the part perfectly, because they have that weird feature on their face, they're probably not gonna get the part.
Yeah.
And it just it
It's
really
such
hurts.
a judgmental industry. Like you have to be brutally honest and just if you don't have
Or if you're not brutally honest,
Yeah.
then you're completely fake.
yeah.
And like I just didn't like you.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, oh yeah, you were amazing, but this person played it slightly bit better. Like, no, you weren't. And like, there's like the brutally honest people that don't give a fuck about being politically correct.
Mm-hmm. Did you actually hear the reasons supposedly that they left, or at least Netflix changes that they would have done?
Someone talked about them, or like Luigi. He's in the room, by the way.
Yeah, it's because of like how Netflix wasn't following their views.
Yeah, and
Like,
Netflix was
what they wanted to do. But
yeah.
They were on a short leash with them, so.
Netflix wanted to like make it more PG-13. They wanted to add gore. They wanted to add. It's amazing.
They wanted to add like all these different
Yeah,
Different
elements to it.
which just would completely shift the tone of the
Yeah.
show. It's a very innocent show. It was shown on Nickelodeon.
I remember that.
Nickelodeon. Like, wow.
I remember that.
Changing it would completely. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And I really hope that. I didn't hear that it was one of the reasons, but I really hope they go with a majority Asian cast.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, they wanted all
Like-
But-
Asian?
I'm hoping that.
Oh.
Like majority all Asian. Just because I feel like that's where the roots were from.
Yeah, that's.
But I
where-
haven't heard like from the creators what they intended the races to be, because it's a weird animation style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything from that?
Nah.
No.
I mean, I think it'd be cool if each elemental nation was like a different
A
race.
different
you know?
race.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
that
he's-
would be like, because that would also help just
Yeah,
racial.
basically what he said is that he would want to have every element a different race.
Mm-hmm.
So like
I don't know,
It'd be-
interesting.
Yeah.
Something different. You know?
it'd be a good element to add and see how it would work out
Mhm.
in a way.
I swear they better make the Fire Nation white people. They better make the Fire Nation white people.
They can make them Native Americans.
No, God.
No,
Just because the speech from Zuko to his father during the comet episode.
I'm being honest. I do not remember.
That's fine. It's
I've never watched this show, so
you really haven't.
I've seen like snippets.
He was the
Shit,
one.
then no, I won't say it. That's a spoiler.
It's fine. I don't think I'm gonna ever.
Alright,
He
spoiler.
He essentially says like I was brought up thinking the Fire Nation was the best nation,
No, it's not.
and just like how it was like spreading the war was offering peace, but it was a good parallel to America essentially.
Mm.
Where
Wait, Subaru's the one with like the eye star, right?
yeah.
I know some things.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch Sausage Party?
That is the adult animation where everyone is a hot dog and the females are buns.
No, not everyone's a hot dog. It's only a certain group of hot dogs, and then you have like this
There's Lizzie.
pita bread. That's was it? Yeah, the pita bread. No, it was a naan. It was a naan bread. You can figure out what he was,
Mm-hmm.
and there was this like other Jewish character or Jewish food item, and like of course they were always bitching at each other, and that was a crazy movie.
I have not seen the movie. I have only seen the famous
No.
scene.
At the end.
At
No,
the end.
you have to watch. I'm sure I've already
I was
spoiled
eating
it.
pizza when I was watching that movie.
I watched that. I watched the end scene in one of the practice rooms in the orchestra room.
Oh,
Yeah.
Talk about
That whole
that's
so Betsy.
what was that about?
What about? just watching it in there.
Watch.
I don't know. It was one of the later years in high school because I can actually remember it. Just like we brought our lunch from the cafeteria, got an empty
Oh,
orchestra
yeah.
room.
So
Just
Yeah, what a show there.
Someone
Yeah.
it's somehow brought up, and we were just like, "Fuck, watch it. Let's go."
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, oh no, you didn't go to my. Never mind. I remember in middle school,
Mm-hmm.
we would go to like the back because we had like a little hallway, like apart from the band hall. That was like all section rooms.
Yeah.
We would have fight clubs there, and I mean,
Dude,
like it was,
that sounds stupid as hell.
I
It
need to see
was-
that movie.
it was.
Oh my god. I want to
You
get into
can-
boxing.
We'll get into that
Mhm.
like later on, but yeah, it was like
how
an
big?
actual.
How big was your fight club? How many kids?
It was at least 15 kids.
Holy crap! How
So
long
like
did it last
we
for?
all knew about it. It was like after like in between while we packed up and we waited for the door to
Mm-hmm.
for the ring.
Was it every year of middle school, or was it just
No,
like a
it was
certain
just,
year?
I think it was a certain year.
A special year.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was probably
special year.
Not gonna lie, I think it's like 8th grade.
Oh damn, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah, so we didn't.
trying to prove themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Before they reached the top.
And now
Mhm.
I never had to fight because I was kind of like the one that set it all up.
I remember
So you
And
were
then
there.
yeah, I was
when
a
I went to
promoter.
middle school. I think I accidentally stumbled upon like a fight club type situation.
again.
Wait, you went to Perry, right?
I went to Long.
Oh man.
Yeah. When I went to Turner, I knew nobody. That was a fresh start for me. I knew like probably 4 other people total.
Mm.
But yeah,
That's where you met.
I feel like he went to Perry. I don't know. There was
my
something-
brother went to Perry.
Mm.
Hmm. But yeah.
No, I wouldn't have met him because he was a freshman
Mhm.
our senior year, so I would never met him.
Shut up, he's talking.
You don't have the mic.
Yeah, you don't have a
the
mic. People can't hear you. It's all like
You got
there's
your
a flat,
episode.
There's a flat line there in the middle.
Oh, that's gonna sound horrible to like the viewers.
I don't give a fuck.
That's fine. It's a boring podcast, yeah.
It's boring.
But yeah, I accidentally stumbled upon a fight club. I was close enough to my middle school. So I
Mhm.
was able to just walk there, and there was an alley like almost perpendicular to the school, so if you just took the alley, that was probably your quickest way. But it was a sketchy alley, so I didn't like to go down it. But one time I had to, and there was like a group of 8 kids, and like most of them were filming. There was like one person in the middle acting as a referee, and then the rest were just going at it like the full like arm strength where you don't think it'll like I don't understand the like the fight tactic where you just like swing your arm like
You
this.
just don't know how to punch.
Like
'cause
yeah,
you're
that won't do anything.
you're
You
an
could,
early teenager and you're
Yeah.
starting to get all these hormones. You don't know
Mhm.
what the fuck's going on.
that's exact. If you fight like that past your 20s, you need to get decked.
You-
That's so stupid. It's so simple to just throw a punch.
like-
yeah.
That we had a fit, and it went on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like we never got caught.
Mine
but I know
lasted.
they
Yeah,
No,
mine
what was-
lasted a couple weeks, and it was
Mm.
usually. I remember it kind of happening my 7th grade year, but it happened a lot 8th grade toward the end of the year, just because
Yeah.
people were just like, we're moving away. We won't know anyone in high school, be different there or whatever.
yeah.
And it was also just a way to like settle beef, honestly.
Mm.
I remember some middle school drama.
Just like sell it out.
Yeah.
Nah, and then towards the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
like after like our spring concert and all that, it was audition season,
Mm-hmm.
and like the band kids would always like stay in the band hall. The percussionists got to go into their own room. It was
Yes,
a
we
giant
did.
closet. It was
Mhm.
a giant closet.
Yeah.
Like the size of this. It wasn't even a closet. It was like a classroom, but we'd just call it the closet because we would put all of our stuff there. So
Mhm.
they basically sent us there every class to quote practice audition material,
I remember.
and we weren't even supervised
Yeah.
because it was only two directors, and like they were all taking care of the kids. So just a group of 13-year-old drummers in a room together.
I remember my middle school percussion classes. We had instead of
You have to speak up again.
instead of a closet from what you would call, mine was like a very narrow hallway, a little bit shorter than your average like hallway you'd think, but definitely designed for I guess that age range.
Yeah.
But I remember you called it meteors, right, or something, where you turn off the light and just like chuck sticks.
Yeah.
Wait,
Was it?
I
No, we
forget what
called it.
I forget what my middle
It
school
was
called it, but we did the
Asteroids. It was
exact same thing.
Asteroids.
Asteroids, that's right.
Yeah, because I remember because whenever we went, we did that. We would do that freshman year, or like my
Mhm.
freshman year of high school. We would also do that. Go into the percussion room, and like we just hide under next to like the marimbas, all that. Like asteroids. Turn off the lights. You duck. No, we had a crazy one, and now that I think about it, this is the reason why I
Mm.
started wearing glasses. I realized that my eyesight was shitty, and I couldn't. I needed. I needed to see.
I discovered that I needed to glasses by accident. Just
Mine
because-
was an accident.
Yeah, I remember I was in like my parents' bedroom and I was just saying I can't see that, but I think I was joking at the time, but they were just like, "Oh, really? You can't see that?" And just I've had horrible eyesight throughout family history, so they just assumed, "Oh, it's glasses time. Let's go." So I really think I got glasses before my eyesight starting to go bad, but now it's horrible. Like I depend on glasses or contacts.
Yeah.
Did you have your contacts on?
Yeah.
See, I was.
Like
I
I'd
was.
probably be able to see maybe how far is this? Would you say? This
About
is when
a-
things start.
it's
to go
about a
fuzzy if
foot.
I don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's like me.
it's bad.
So wait, so you're
Mm.
nearsighted?
Yeah,
Oh,
nearsighted.
same,
Yeah.
nearsighted.
I
Hey,
need to
we're all
get new
nearsighted.
glasses. Hey, nearsighted.
Yeah, but we would have a version of asteroids.
Mhm.
But what we would do is that we'd line up on separate sides of the room. It was a pretty big room. It was a classroom. And then like everything else was in the middle. Like it was empty. So we'd set up
Mhm.
like little forts. And we would have to stay behind them. We would chunk like sticks at each other. We would have fucking sword fights with sticks, like different drumsticks, like mallets. Like we would have a good time. And then here's a story about how my eye got fucked up. So we're doing that, right?
Mhm.
And then I'm not gonna give out his name, but nah, you know what? Fuck it. I think it was either Jordan. You remember Jordan?
Yeah.
It's either him or
Mhm.
Lewis. They chunked the mallet. It hit me
What kind of
square
mallet?
in the
Was it
eye.
like what-
no,
one
it
of
was
the-
a hard one.
The hard one, like the plastic.
Yeah, it was like
Okay.
those plastic hard
Oh.
ones. I don't know what hit me. I just
No,
felt like
those things, yeah, they can
No,
definitely be used as a weapon.
yeah,
Holy crap.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know how hard it was. I remember just like not seeing anything, and then all of a sudden like,
Mm-hmm.
and it was quiet because like we had to be quiet.
That's so
It was
scary.
quiet and it was dark, so I was just like facing there, like with my eyes closed and shit. And then all of a sudden I hear like a giant sound.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, it's like a flash in in my left. It's like it's like a flash in my left eye, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I just like fuck. What do we do?
Did you scream?
Huh?
Did you scream?
I don't. Think I screamed. I know I didn't cry, but of course I was like, oh fuck. So I was, like we stopped the game. Like my eyes like all purple. And then of course I'm not. I forgot what story I came up with.
Oh, you didn't rat anyone out. Nice.
No,
yeah,
of course
yeah.
not, because we would all get in trouble. 'Cause
Yeah.
literally none of
That
us
would
were
kill the
doing
game. No,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like I tripped, and I think I tripped. I had a stick up, and that's how I landed, and it hit my eye. That was the story I went with. That's the story I went with. And
I
then
could
like
tell where that story was going.
I mean,
I bet the people knew that it was something else, but they just didn't
no,
care.
it was coming. But
Did you
yeah,
ever get like busted by
Nah.
your band director like
Nah.
coming in?
Ah,
We'd have to I forgot what we did, but they used to always come in because they could tell the lights were off. So we changed something, but then we could always do it.
no, I mean, we also had loud doors because it was out in the actual hallway. It wasn't even like that general area. Because, like, you have the band hall and all the practice rooms, and you have, like, this little hallway that leads to the stage. And then, like, you go out one door, and it's the choir room. And then, like, their practice rooms. And then you go outside, and then that's the hallway. And, like, the little closet like, the little place where we were, the classroom was, like, on that hallway outside. So we knew when they would come, we would start hearing doors and footsteps.
So you had an alarm,
So
essentially.
we had an alarm.
I remember we tried getting like people on lookout as well.
Yeah, dude.
It
I
always
remember
sucked being on lookout.
you're just kind of there. And
Yeah.
like, and you hear like everyone like, oh shit, oh shit. And you just like, trying to like run back, see what happened. But then that's when you get even more paranoid because then the teacher's gonna see you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're there. It's suicide watch. Cause like you're busted, but you have to warn everyone else. Like
Mhm.
get back to their places.
It's just a sacrificial, so more
Yeah.
people can live.
I remember those days.
Yeah, I just got a bunch of flashbacks from middle school, just thinking about the old times in percussion.
Damn. I
Mhm.
mean, hey, you got 2 hours on here.
I just know that I can't formulate the words, but they're there.
Give me. You need some more. That's why. You said he talked after a while, so
Mm-hmm.
that's where I'm
Or at
trying
least I
to
feel more in my head, essentially. I've definitely been using it more, like, for mental health as well.
That's kind of where I started, really,
Mm-hmm.
because it relieves anxiety. Like, it definitely helps you sleep well, and like stress as well. I would use it a lot for anxiety, and like help me
Anxiety,
sleep.
I can confirm for myself,
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. It really does.
My
And
sleeping
then-
is so messed up right now. I can't confirm if it works or not, because it's so bad.
I mean,
really need to get back.
Yeah, I got used to sleeping on or like being fine for like 5 hours of sleep.
Mhm.
That's just how much I've been getting. Like I'll take these little cat naps throughout the day, but
Oh my gosh, I took the best naps freshman year in college. I was getting like 4 hours of sleep a night, just sleep
Yeah.
about an hour than the day, but that's it.
you just knock the fuck out on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got used to it because I work at a Starbucks, so that means we have to go in at like 4:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to get up at 3:30. So it's I just got used to it. Plus, I've been like working on some other stuff outside that I won't say on air yet.
I need to get a job. I'm just hoping. I feel like what'll make or break the job is just the social setting there. If I
Mhm.
can make friends with
Oh
them
yeah, for
easier
sure,
or not.
dude. Yeah. You blinked out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as there's like a good social situation,
Mhm.
you'd really not notice the time or notice what you're doing. As long as there's just other friends, other life around you, you're
Oh yeah,
fine.
for sure. I mean, we evolved to be like social
Mhm.
social animals.
That's
Like
how we
we've been,
survived.
yeah, it's how we survive. 'Cause like we ain't shit.
Mhm.
And I mentioned it before. I'll mention it again. Like we're not fast. We're not strong. We're not
Mm-mm.
big. We're not
We're
predators.
just smart. That's the only thing we got for us.
really
Yeah.
is.
Some more than others, but
But still, just like humans in general, like the human brain.
mhm.
That's what. That's a mind fuck of its own, quite literally. Just it's the way it is, and then the way during our evolution, how it doubled in size in
Mhm.
2 million years, which is nothing in an evolutionary scale.
I wish there was, and there is more to learn from history. I just wish it was like more easily accessible. Like I know when does world history starts? What, like around Christ BC, that area?
Well, it's civilizations,
Mhm.
like the actual big ones, started around 8,000 years ago, 'cause that's when the Neolithic era started.
Mhm.
But before then, for hundreds of thousands of years, we were nomadic tribes. So there really isn't like history to that, because we were nomadic and we focused. We didn't have time to like sit down and write,
Mhm.
because we were out running from and to lions, shit like that.
Just getting the basic food,
Yeah,
water,
just
shelter.
like
That's
living
it.
off the land
Yeah.
every day. That's how that's how we evolved to be, like live off the land. 10,000 years ago, they figured out that you can plant stuff. Like they figured out
That changed the
agriculture.
game.
Yeah, I mean, quite literally. 'Cause that's what it's like. All right, we don't have to move anymore. We can start to settle down. That's when the river valley started.
That's right. I'm trying to remember the Bill Worth video.
Which one?
It's the it came out right before, I can't remember the year I took. I was in a AP World History, but it was right around the time the AP History test came out, but it was just the entire history of the world in like 19 minutes or something. It's very well done. It really covers everything, just not in detail. It's a
Yeah.
huge generalization.
No, I like going back. I like seeing like
Mhm.
how we evolved, like just evolution, and how a single cell creature got out of water. Next thing you know, now there's like life, you know?
Mhm.
And it's interesting when you realize that one of the first multicellular life forms on Earth were actually fungus.
Mhm.
Or it was
We all
a
started
type
out
of
as fungus and plants.
Yeah, yeah. Every animal, most plants come from a fungus.
Mhm.
And you know that this where the episode starts getting good. Because you think about nowadays,
Yeah.
about stuff that's legal, stuff that
Mhm.
is legal, that should be legal.
Because
It
in the
gets-
end, all these rules, that's legality, stuff like that, it's all man-made. It's all just someone just thought of it and thought it was correct, and people were just like, "Yeah, we agree with you" at the time.
Yeah, and then it's crazy how we all already have these chemicals in the
Mhm.
in the brain. You know,
Mhm.
you need to take more hits. You're so quiet.
I'm just thinking right now.
You're just thinking about.
Well, I feel like you're about to bring up DMT.
Oh yeah, of course I'm gonna bring
Of
up
course.
DMT.
Yeah.
I'll get there. I mean, I've just been fucking around a lot with mushrooms, especially.
What's been your experience? Because for me, I haven't had anything.
You haven't had 'em.
Yeah.
There's a lot that you've heard, and like just repetitive tips and like from other people, the first thing is always be in a good mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because really the term psychedelic, like psych means...
Whatever you're feeling at the time.
Psych means like a
Yourself,
feeling.
yeah.
Like a feeling, like
Mhm.
self. No, so like delic, that's Greek for self. Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And psych is obviously mental, like feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So when you combine the words like psychedelic, it's like a self-conscious time. Because that's really what it brings you up. Like people talk about like, oh yeah, it's a party drug. I went to a concert on LSD, whatever. Like those really aren't. They're just not stuff you should really mess with like that.
I feel like a lot of people forget that there's so much you can, like, just introspective stuff I feel like you have to go through in order to, like, grow as a person.
Yeah, especially these, because
With mushrooms, I'd assume they force you to be introspective because
Definitely.
you're really only confronted with yourself,
yeah,
your own thoughts.
that's what they all do.
And if you're
that's why.
confused by that, then you need to really focus on yourself and figure
Mhm.
out what are you going through right now.
'Cause that's exactly what it does. Because
Mhm.
it's all chemistry that happens in the brain. Like we were talking about it, like with Luigi earlier, that the psilocybin that's in the mushrooms, that breaks your stomach breaks it down as psilocin,
Mm-hmm.
because they're very similar chemicals. And then when it breaks it down as psilocin, it turns out that your serotonin almost has the exact same molecule form. So your brain gets some of that psilocin, registers it as serotonin, because that's what already has in the body, and it's very
Mhm.
similar. So that's what it heightens throughout the trip.
So it's essentially just a heightened serotonin.
It's very heightened serotonin.
Okay.
So like you'll feel really, really good during it. Of course, if you have a lack of it, then that's when like the bad stuff happens.
Mhm.
But we'll also get there. But that's what it does. Like, so it gets broken down psilocin in your stomach, and then your brain would register it as serotonin, so it would heighten that up. And since it's all connecting together, that's
Mhm.
kind of why you see stuff and you can't really tell what's reality and what's not.
And things go fuzzy and can cause patterns and stuff.
Yeah, you see a lot of crazy shit. And like the thing about it is that when you close your eyes, you're still gonna see shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't go away for 8 hours.
I remember a lot
Or
of people
it's
just
like
saying
6
you have
to
to
8
accept
hours.
it. You just have to
Yeah.
dive straight in. If you try to resist it, it's just gonna.
It'll fuck you up. And that's really why most people have bad trips.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I had one like that where it was like I was thinking about something, I was trying to get to that, and then like
I think
the
it's
feeling
always
was
good
like
to have a trip sitter as well, someone who's been through the process.
yeah, definitely
Many times before.
Yeah.
And
either that or what
They
I
know what
did
to
is
do.
my first time was I did it on my own.
How was that?
It was it was nighttime, so it was like all dark, and I don't know, I was just laying there, and then like everything was dark, so like I was still seeing stuff, and I'll close my eyes,
Mhm.
and then like it'll just be more visual, and you'll just see like these crazy patterns, like stuff you can literally never think of, and it's because of that. That's why you get like a lot of ideas from it, and like there's tons of people that owe their success to psychedelics, because it'll create. Because also another thing that it does,
Yeah.
whenever the psilocybin's in the serotonin, it'll start creating like these new channels. It creates neurons actually, and so you start getting like these different connections you can't access in a conscious state,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's where you get like the weird ideas.
The person that comes to mind right now, just Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I remember when he died, I didn't think much of it because
Mm.
that was honestly the first time I even heard of the guy.
really.
Yeah, like of his death, and I feel like that's just crazy that now he's literally changed the internet, how we live, and everything, how we
Mhm.
communicate, even form connections, meet new people.
See, because I was actually watching a documentary recently. It was
Mhm.
really good. The movie Jobs.
Jobs.
It's
yeah.
Ashton
Heard of it.
Kutcher plays Steve Jobs, and it was basically kind of like a life, like his story about his life, how he got started in the garage, all of that, and how he moved
Mhm.
up. And hang on, I need water.
I heard he had like, I can't remember what organ, but Ashton Kutcher, he almost had
Yeah.
like an organ damage or failure because he also practiced Steve Jobs like very vegan plant-based diet. It was
Mhm.
some diet that was very
Yeah.
different, very controversial.
I think it was the alkaline diet.
Alkaline?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's where you eat raw vegetables, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's a
man.
weird one. Because vegans, it's only they don't eat anything that's animal,
Mhm.
but there's still tons of stuff they can eat. But like that alkaline one's just raw vegetables.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
How is there even like enough food combinations to not get
I don't know.
bored?
I honestly
Just
don't know.
raw vegetables.
I don't know how they do it. But he even like he was actually like one of the first, or that's basically where I got the idea of psychedelic
Mhm.
not being like party drug. It's something else. Because I remember reading a quote or it was something like that, and he said that he owes his success to LSD, like the LSD trips.
Wow.
Cause it just makes you see some crazy shit. Like there's no way you can access that in a conscious state. There's really no way.
Mhm.
And then like, of course it's already in the brain, but it's kind of like you got a lighter, and then you got the matchbox, like the box. Like they're both gonna make a fire, but they're not gonna do it on their own. Like you need both of
You gotta
them.
combine them.
So it's kind of that thing of the brain,
Mhm.
and it's like, why is it illegal?
That makes me think about, I really wish just when Columbus came over and like discovered the Americas and all of the Native American like civilization, I really wish we were able to like preserve some of that history because they had been
Mhm.
there hundreds of years just on that continent,
Thousands.
thousands of years, never, yeah, it might be. Just all that history gone.
Mm-hmm.
All of their science. I'd like to think if they were still around today, if they were never intervened by the Spaniards or Europeans, that they'd be farther than we would be.
Oh, yeah, that's
Mhm.
very interesting. Have you heard of Graham Hancock?
I've seen Joe Rogan clips about
You've
him.
seen clips.
Yeah,
He's really interesting though, because
I'm
he
almost
has-
done with his full podcast with him. Actually,
That's good. He has two with, or he has
Mhm.
multiple with him, but that's what he talks about a lot, and he claims that there was
yeah, it's very very intriguing to me.
yeah, he claims that there was an advanced civilization like 12,000 years ago. There was
I mean, I'd like to assume so as well. You can't
no,
explain
it's
some of the
because
stuff.
he says that specific period of time, because there's also all these really weird structures that
Mhm.
no one knows how they got there. They just appear to
Even
be
just
there.
with the technology that's not there,
Yeah.
how we have cranes and so much construction equipment now. How are
No,
you?
you're just saying like the prehistoric artifacts that there are, and he claims that there was an advanced civilization, but during that period of time, which it turns out that is true, there was like an astronomical event. So it's like meteors and stuff hitting the Earth at the time that created really bad floods.
Mm-hmm.
Then eventually caused one of the ice ages, and that was kind of like what wiped out most of humanity, and they had to restart basically.
It's so strange to think, like we just can't find the evidence for it yet.
Yeah, because there is proof that there was an
Mhm.
event at that time. And it's really weird also, because like in the Bible and like those religious books that they'll talk about like the big flood
Mhm.
and like stuff, and it turns out it was like 12,000 years ago.
You just gotta find like the coincidences, the points in time that make sense to
Mhm.
connect them.
Because it's really weird, like when it comes to religion.
Religions, it's a very touchy subject.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no way you can talk about religion and not offend someone now.
I don't give a fuck. I just talk
Yeah.
anyways. But I don't. Me personally, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you have your belief, like I respect it. I will
As long
never
as it
talk shit
isn't
about it.
hurting anyone,
Yeah,
you should be fine.
yeah, I respect it, and like I'll speak. I obviously
Mhm.
have my opinion. If you don't even agree with my opinion, then I don't care, 'cause that's my opinion, right? But really, what I say is that I do believe in like a higher power. Like there is something higher,
Mhm.
especially like now after having those experiences. I'm sure there's something else. It's a god. It's some other
Being.
like being in a different dimension. Whatever it is,
Mhm.
I believe in that. But just the idea of like all these religions, there's these groups of people that have a version of the exact same event,
But just with different names, different
different
places.
names, but they'll claim that they're right and everyone else is wrong.
Mm-hmm. And you'll go as far as killing the other people just to prove that you're right,
Yeah.
which I think defeats your whole purpose of religion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you hear religion, you shouldn't think violence at all, but
Mhm.
it exists out there, and I'm just baffled by
Yeah.
it.
It's very, I don't know. But it's kind of why I'm just very skeptical about it. Like, obviously, different people have their opinions. I respect them. That's kind of what I believe.
Mm.
It's just like, everyone, they're all going to say they're right. So it's a matter, it's really perception.
It's really just an agreement to not disrupt the other person at that point, because
Mhm.
you can't agree on like just a certain aspect I guess which god is true. You just can't agree to that, so you
Mhm.
just say, let's just not talk about it. Let's
But, like, even then, like, they all, like, they all have that same idea of God. It's like,
mm-hmm.
it's either a person, it's either an energy, it's something that's loving and that watches over us. And that's really it's what they try to spread when it comes to religion. They're just, it's borderline a set of rules of how to give a good life,
Mm-hmm.
or how to live a good life, excuse me. But they all vary. So it's like, it's all perception.
I really think you should find your own rules in life,
Mhm.
create your own morals, and then look into religion. But I know some people are raised up from religion, and then that in effect affects their morals and
Yeah.
the stuff that they believe.
So that's why you have more people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of what happened here. Just in society in general, it's what happens. Like, you get comfortable with a certain way of living, so like you want to teach that to your offspring,
Mm-hmm.
children, and it just goes down the line. Next thing you know, there's a billion people living in somewhat similar style. Well, in terms of religion, like in terms of beliefs, spiritual beliefs, that sort of stuff. You're staring there again.
Deadass, I'm just vibing.
Yeah,
I'm,
you
I'm
are.
chilling.
You gotta talk. You gotta tell me
Mm-hmm.
how's your first year been?
It was very fun. I made a lot of memories there, and sadly lost the Snapchat memories of them because my Snapchat got hacked.
Oh,
I lost like
what?
so many memories from high school and stuff. I do not know what happened,
Damn.
and it really sucks. I wish I had. I remember like there's an option like whenever you save something to memories, it'll automatically go to your camera roll. I wish I had that on because that would have solved everything. But yeah, if you have any memories of me, please send them to me, because at that point it's just pictures of myself that I don't have. Yeah. But I also lost people I only met probably for the first time. I know I've forgotten so many people now because I've lost them on stories or whatever.
That
That hurts.
Yeah. See, something like that. I've made connections. I know people from them, and then I've
Yeah.
forgotten them, and I don't know if I'll ever see them again.
damn.
Like it's crazy.
Irreplaceable.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
It's so strange how we
It's
we
weird.
form bonds and connections just to memories and stuff like that.
Yeah. goes into the AI thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I feel
what?
like we're real close to AI, even though I know the big tech companies have their own like secrets and stuff before they want to
Oh, yeah,
unveil
they
to the
do.
public.
I mean, Elon Musk's trying to put a chip,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
I
there's
feel
actually
like it's a cool idea, but
it's
it's
very
just,
sketchy.
Yeah, no, it's very sketchy. But it is a cool idea. The amount of stuff you could do from that.
Cause he's scary whenever he starts talking about AI. It's
Mhm.
really eerie. It's very eerie. But he'll say, like, for example, we're already cyborgs to a point.
Mm-hmm. Like
I mean,
you're just talking about like metal hips.
When you think about your phone. Well, we'll get there, yeah. But when you think about your phone,
with your phone,
it has a lot of memories.
mm-hmm.
It has a camera, so it can clearly see what you see. It has all your phone numbers, all your
Mhm.
contacts. Like I said, all
It's
your
just so
pictures,
much-
videos.
yeah.
Next thing you know, you get Bank of America, whatever bank you have, so now it has your bank and all your money goes there. You can put information about like weight, height, blood type,
Mhm.
heart pressure, etc. And it went from your phone to your wrist. And now you can talk to people on your wrist. And you can do everything from your wrist.
I also think it's scary, just all that information. Well, actually, no, let me go back to your point. I think it's a very good argument to say that we are cyborgs at this point.
Yeah, because like I said,
if you like say you just hid someone's phone, seeing someone in that frantic state of like, where's my phone? I need to find my phone.
it's part of you.
Yeah.
It's an extension.
Mm-hmm. That also, it makes me think, at what age should like kids be given phones?
That's a good one.
Yeah, like just from a parenting standpoint, because the internet, children should not be on the internet. Like, they need to have their own place.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many bad things. So many people can take advantage of them. Just marketing wise, and it's a very I can't. So many options are in like the front of my head right now, but yeah, there needs to be, for me, there needs to be a minimum age where you can like go on the internet.
But then you can fake it.
What?
You can fake the age.
That's true.
I mean,
I just don't know, because
that's really
Yeah.
just a philosophy question. Like, obviously we can't answer that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just philosophy. And then even parents, like even parents now, you can't answer them. Because, like, for example, my brother had his first phone in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had my first phone in middle school. And my brother had his first phone like fourth, fifth grade. So like right before middle school. And it's just like, how young do you need to be to have a phone? And it's just really interesting because it's so new to everyone. It's
Mhm.
just not new to kids. It's new to adults, obviously. Like, iPhones.
We're really the first
iPhones
generation to feel
13
this huge effect with phones.
iPhones 13 years ago
Yeah.
couldn't do nearly the same things that they do now. Because my first phone was a flip phone.
Mm-hmm.
My
Oh my
my
God.
older brother's probably was,
Yeah.
and my brother's first phone was like an old iPhone.
My first phone was like
And that's even in
a
the span
green
of 3
BlackBerry
years.
looking
Yeah.
thing, but I still had to like flip it open, and I remember having to like, what was it where you had to like type each number like 3 times if you wanted to get
Yeah.
a letter. I remember doing that.
Yeah, and then I remember like whenever I went to middle school,
Mm-hmm.
like that was when like the first multi-touch screen started coming out. It's like I remember being a badass because I had like I had a little slide phone,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
it was like, you know, the ones, and then they have the
Yeah.
keyboard, but when I put the keyboard back, you could still move the screen.
Crazy.
So I felt.
I still
"Man,
remember
there's some
like
high-tech
even in
shit."
high school when like the new phone was announced and people were already like, "Oh, already got it." It was
Yeah,
always like,
oh,
just, "Oh,
shit."
can I see that? Really?"
Like, bro, let me see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
I think it would be a good rule. Well, actually, what we have at this point isn't even a phone. It's just a computer, a very usable computer that can store so much stuff. Because a phone is really only used to make calls.
Yeah.
I'd say to communicate. Texting also goes with a phone. But we just have a computer and so much other stuff on a very small rectangle.
Yeah. on your wrist.
Yeah.
Like,
I-
you can surf
I
on.
haven't had much like just I haven't been around Apple Watches. Like, is that really what they can do? Like,
Yeah.
it's essentially just a phone on your wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually.
You can pay with your watch.
That's
Like
Ah.
it's
So
weird.
weird.
Like people, I remember
at that point, it's
I
just
had,
like a collar. I belong to Apple. They have all my
yeah,
information.
they literally do.
Yeah.
And then that's the scary part about AI, because they're saying like, oh, how, like, why are they making them so smart?
Mm-hmm.
But they're getting information from us.
Yeah. It's very strange to see like my Instagram, what was it? Instagram, the Explorer, the little
Yeah.
search icon. Just that page, I realized it was like 3 things. It was either Marvel posts, workout posts, or every now and again a lady in a bikini. And I was just like, what the hell? This is not all I am. So I put not interested. I went on like a streak of just putting not interested to anything. And now my Explorer page, I can't even sum it up in 3 things.
Because
It's crazy just what they assume about you, or what they can get from like your psyche. Even TikTok. I feel like that's TikTok.
What do you think about that?
I'm
What's
trying to
going on?
find the words. I don't mean to add silence to your podcast. I'm trying to find the words because I do have my opinions on TikTok. I don't think it should be banned. I think TikTok is scary. TikTok is scary because of the amount, like, what they can assume about you. If people scroll down my For You page, they would definitely see a lot of stuff about me. And it's very strange to think, I guess, TikTok, they just have all that information somewhere, and I just hope it's only to them and no one else can access it.
Oh, they definitely can.
Yeah, that's the thing. They
sell
definitely
it.
can.
They they sell it. There was a guy. His name's Edward Snowden, something like that.
Mhm.
But you've heard of
Edward
him, right?
Yes, I've heard of him.
Yeah,
It's Edward
he,
Snowden.
yeah. In case you don't know about him, he worked in CIA, right?
Mhm.
Was it? Yeah.
All I know about him, he's the NSA guy. He's the reason we have the, hey, cover up your webcam thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because he basically exposed all of that, and then
Mhm.
he fled to Russia in like 2013 or something.
Damn.
Yeah, it was quite recent. And he was saying, like, for example, the scary one's AT&T.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, if you don't have AT&T directly, you probably have, like, all these different, like,
Yeah, they
branch
probably have a
outs.
sub company of it.
But, like, even then, just the coverage.
Yeah.
Because, like, another phone line can buy into AT&T's.
We need more whistleblowers.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But that's the problem, though. They'll
Mhm.
shut them up. Either that or make them look crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy, like, just the effect a small group of people, or
Mhm.
the amount of control, like, a few companies have. We get, like, most of our food from 8 companies, 8
Yeah.
industries.
And then he was saying the weird one that was AT&T.
Mm-hmm.
Because any phone call you've made since 1984 or something like that, they have it on record. Like, they won't have the conversation, but
Yeah.
they'll have
The
the exact time, the exact date
Mhm.
you called this number.
It's crazy.
And there was this, no, I think it was in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
There was a case where there was like a guy that was stalking a girl, and like he would follow her everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then I forgot what the police did, because the police were already looking for the guy for a while. They somewhat bought information from AT&T about, as in where he lives,
That's scary.
that sort of stuff, and they caught him that way. Because I also had like stuff on him, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course they tried to sue AT&T, but what they said is that the information that you have given us, like, we have the right to do
Mhm.
whatever we want with it, because you agreed.
You agreed to it when you signed up for AT&T.
You agreed to it,
Yeah.
but you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they'll obviously, like, if they have the paperwork and it says that you agreed to it, their signature's on there, that's it.
Yeah. You're done.
Yep. And they found the guy that way. Like, they bought they bought his address off AT&T or something like that. Like one of the
It's
landlines.
stuff like that makes me like, I'm glad that AT&T had the problem, because it's what saved a life. It got someone to jail who deserved to
Mhm.
be there from your case. He was stalking her or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good for things like that to happen, but I feel like it's so easy for the bad things to happen, to use
Mhm.
that for your own personal gain. I wish there was a way to opt out of that, or to just like, what's...
Well, you have to be off the grid. That's
Yeah.
really about it. Cameras are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like once your
There's a
information's
record
up,
of you
that's
out
it.
there. Yeah.
And like I said, your phone already has all your information. So now it's like, if you were to die, but your phone can somehow create a chip they put on AI,
Mm-hmm.
how similar would that be to the real you?
Not very similar. For me, I think. I'd hope. I really don't. I think that would be terrifying.
It could get actually just like the information it gets from people every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they say it can develop I don't know. I'm not very well read. I obviously don't know shit about this. But it's just fun to think about. Or it's interesting to think about.
I'd like to think it wouldn't be that similar. Maybe... I think it would be similar, but definitely not anything close.
You'd be surprised.
Hmm.
You'd be surprised. Like I said, your phone has your health records now, or it can.
Mm-hmm.
Then of course that's all your bank accounts. So now you can use your watch to pay
Mm-hmm.
for food or anything. So it's interesting. I'm trying. You got
Yeah.
anything? You're kind of there. You're kind of there, just like sitting. But
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask something earlier. I don't remember what it was. It was something. It was something with high school. But
It's crazy to think just where I am now. High
Mhm.
school was, what, a year and a summer ago?
yeah.
And I've already changed so much. But I'm very nostalgic for my high school years.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds so stupid. I'm like, what, 1 year older? God, what the hell?
You feel wiser.
I feel
Like,
wiser,
fuck.
yeah. I definitely say I wouldn't recognize, like, I definitely look the same, but my mentality has changed so much.
Yeah. Cause you get to be
Mhm.
independent, cause you're not
Mhm.
in that. You don't have that structure anymore around you.
Yeah.
And now
It's-
you're somewhat voluntarily going to school.
Yeah.
And I say somewhat, but it still kind of is an obligation if you're paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Because at that point you're in.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get out. There's too much money already in it.
Yeah.
So.
It's weird. That's the
Mhm.
reason why I don't go. Cause I'm very spontaneous. Like I just don't give a fuck. Like, oh shit, I want to talk to people. Start a podcast.
I don't know. I see myself in college for the time being.
You do. That's
I have
good.
I have no idea for the
Mhm.
future. I really don't like to make promises of like months or whatever, just
Yeah.
because I literally do not know what I'll be like months from now.
I mean, you're still young.
Yeah.
Then that's also a problem that social media has on
Mhm.
us.
It
'Cause
exploits the youngness of people.
yeah, cause it sounds like you should have your life figured out. No, not
Mhm.
even social media, just in general, like schools.
Yeah.
Cause they expect you to make a life decision at 18.
Like it's
You haven't done shit. Like
Mhm.
what do you know at 18 years old?
you know nothing.
You-
You know
you
some
know-
facts of the world.
No,
you know
no,
some
you don't.
math.
No, you don't. You can live on your.
I'm yeah. You don't know. You don't know shit.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
don't. Like you haven't lived on your own. Like you've been living with your parents or whoever's been guarding you for the past however
Mhm.
many years. It's like you don't know what it's like out there. And they expect you to make a life decision.
I also think, and I'm starting to like realize this more and more, just your parents aren't just your mom and dad. They're also their own person.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're also doing their own thing. And it's weird to think, growing up, I feel like most people I would assume with good relationship with their parents, just they're my mom and dad, they care for me, like that's their obligate, that's why they're there. But then you start to see, and you can kind of assume, oh, there were other people before me, they were completely different.
There's definitely I've talked about it earlier, and then especially because my brother's gonna be a dad soon, so I know there's there's definitely like a switch, like it's an epiphany in terms of like you've lived your whole life on this side of the spectrum,
and now you have to take care of a life.
Now you're at what? Now you're making a 180-degree turn. Now you have to do this. But yeah, I've never thought about that until now. Or I have, like just the whole.
They're their own person. They have their own aspirations. They have their own anxieties. Their own, I guess, their own bucket list, even.
Really, yeah.
And
that's definitely it.
I think it's hard when, and I'm kind of speaking for me, there are some things I very disagree with my parents, and I have no idea how to bring it up, just because, like, that, for me, that's just so scary. Yeah.
It's just weird how I don't understand the concept of working in the same place for a certain amount of time.
For that long.
Yeah.
I would think you'd have to get bored. You get bored of school all the time, and you find ways to make a change. You talk to someone else. You just hang out with different people. But with a job, you're literally doing the same work around the same subject.
Yeah. Every day for like 30, 40 years, whatever it is. It's something I can't wrap my head around, just because, especially with me, but then against comfort zone. And like you fall into a trap. It's very difficult to get out of. Got quiet again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. Oh, I remember now. It wasn't even about high school. Because you said you were interested in boxing.
I think it should be a good technique for anyone to learn how to fight, how to defend themselves in some way using only your body. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's it.
But boxing, and it may also have to do with Joe Rogan and stuff. YouTube recommended me his podcast, and it's good. Like, it just is. But I also know it has so many like stereotypes, just the Joe Rogan psychedelics and stuff. But it's stuff I think should be looked into. He brings up a ton of subjects with his wide range of guests. It's not just celebrities. It's small known science figures.
Not even small known. He brought in Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Well, yeah, but other people, like, I didn't know who was the dude with Civilizations. I had
Graham
no
Hancock.
idea. Yeah, I had no idea who he was. And now I'm looking into one of the books he promoted on the podcast or whatever.
It was Life Before the Americas, I think. I haven't read it yet. I started listening, but
But yeah, boxing, I don't know, it looks efficient.
Yeah, it's great to know. Plus, gives you a different perspective, because like that's what he talks about. That's what he preaches at. It exposes you. So like, there's something different. It's very different actually. Whenever you have that man-in-man combat, it puts you in a different perspective because you're exposing yourself.
Yeah.
So now it's 100% personal.
You're kind of saying like,
so like those punches that you're taking,
yeah.
those kicks, that's 100% personal. It's like it's going to your face or it's going to your body. It's hand-to-hand contact.
That's your being. That's your physical form trying to fight off another physical form. And if you lose that fight, then you weren't
good enough for him, in a way. But no, I asked that because I have a buddy that he actually owns his own gym, but he's like our age.
Damn.
I had him on the podcast, his second episode or something like that. But he's a super dope guy. If you're ever interested. But I haven't gone yet, but I really want to as well. I want to get into it. Cause it's just the amount of energy, or the amount it takes out from your body, like literally,
Just throwing your arms.
like throwing punches and receiving them. Cause like I'll take a hit to the stomach, like I'm out of breath.
Yeah. But it's when you can train yourself to take multiple hits to the stomach and still have some breath.
Yeah, and then you're
like,
still running around.
Yeah.
It's crazy one. It's a crazy way to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like I remember I was with my friend. We're shooting. Like I'll shoot videos, send them to him. But it was just a crazy amount of exercise and like focus that you put into it, blood, sweat, and tears, quite literally. It's a crazy way to make a living. And then like all it is just you against another man. Just physical contact, sweat, it's a weird way to make a living.
I also want to get like into a better workout schedule as well. I definitely gained weight while quarantine.
I know Luigi has a thing or two about that.
I lost a lot of weight.
I remember you got like super fit. You had like
You
a
were
good
just
schedule in high school, right?
Oh yeah, that was junior year when I was powerlifting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was powerlifting junior year.
I wish I could have joined with you with powerlifting.
Oh my God, dude, I was really buff.
Yeah.
Like bloated, actually more.
He was, yeah.
More bloated.
He
than
was just
buff.
talking about, yeah.
It's like, cause in
You want to get over here? I need to take a piss.
Huh?
I need to piss. You want to get over here?
Take a
I
spot.
guess. I guess we might as well talk about it.
Like I need to piss. I need to go.
You go ahead and do your business. Oh wow, this is so cool. Looking from the other end.
What's his setup like? Yeah. I'm assuming
What's
you
it
can see
called?
like the sound
Yeah.
things and stuff.
Yeah,
Hold up.
I can actually. Yeah, I can.
What was that? Did it
So cool.
Yeah, look right there. Oh yeah, that's so cool.
No, it's still recording, bro.
No, I was. Oh, is it still recording?
Yeah, it's still recording.
It's just going on to some type
We have a guest, Luigi.
Returning again to the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
as I was being a bystander.
Yeah.
So back to high school of how fit I was.
Sexy man.
No, that was sophomore year. If anything, sophomore year I was really toned. I was really lean. I'm talking like, I was almost to like Ryan Reynolds lean. Like no, like
No,
bare- like
that's like a good standard.
that-
yeah,
that's
the
like a
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
lean.
Reynolds right there, yeah.
Mhm.
But like, you know, not the basketball shoulders and
Yeah.
like beefy forearms and all.
I
But
feel like powerlifting, just aesthetics in general. I feel like the best way to look is you look muscular, but you still have like your skeletal formation. Like you're not too round. You're not too curved. At least for guys.
Bulky.
Yeah, bulky. Yeah.
yeah, I think for me, in my opinion, a perfect body would, for me, that I want to look like or like have like a similar structure to is like Chris Evans, you know?
Yes.
Like honestly, like looking at like how like he like worked out for like so long to keep like that body well and like well fit and overall, I think for me that looks sexy.
It's just a lot of work, and doesn't Hollywood also have like a thing with water weights where you have to like dehydrate yourself?
Oh,
like
no, that
the
was Hugh
scene-
Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
That was Hugh Jackman when he
Okay.
would dehydrate himself for like
I gotta
36 hours.
remembering something because I swear I read it was like almost every shirtless scene in Hollywood, the actor is like either forced or recommended to like dehydrate themselves.
Oh,
for,
with like some supplement,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
just to get like the skin to
the
suck itself.
the chiseled look. Yeah, that was Hugh Jackman for like almost every single Wolverine movie.
Jeez.
Especially like
feel
not
horrible for the
Logan,
actor.
but the Wolverine one when he's in Japan.
Yes.
Those scenes where he looks
that's
so
a different.
veiny.
Mhm.
Oh my god, I was like, what the hell?
That is an unrealistic expectation.
It is.
Oof.
For 36 hours,
Mhm.
imagine. Oh my god.
Horrible.
I'd pass out.
Yeah, I feel horrible for the for the actor who will have to take over Wolverine's spot.
Honestly.
Yeah, because he's no matter what, he's gonna get so much hate.
Honestly, I think that'll be like for any sort of replacement, in my opinion.
I hope I hope they go with the shorter actor, because Wolverine, he's like 4'11" in the comics. He's short.
He's a midget.
Yeah.
And they brought a freaking giant to fill in the shoes. So
It's gonna be weird.
All right, switching back to Jordan now.
From his bathroom break.
From his bathroom.
Nah, dude, I've been drinking water all day, so
I need to drink more water.
It had happened. I need to dehydrate myself.
Alcohol's fun, but
It
it's
is if you know how to do.
if you know how to drink. Like,
Oh yeah, that's very true.
to the people who just drink and drink and drink, you cannot have fun like that. Like, what are you doing?
My liver.
Your poor liver.
Your poor liver. It's
It's-
over there like, fuck.
Yeah.
You're drowning.
Like, if you can get to the point where you can't remember events, if you can't remember time, why did you do that?
Yeah, that's. I've just wondered that in general, like
Yeah.
people, especially with like certain bars, certain
Mhm.
pills that. I've tried Xanax a few times.
Mhm.
It just sucked because I didn't remember everything. Like I want to have a good time. I want to remember it.
Yeah, I wanna
wanna
know what
remember-
it felt
I
like
want
to
to remember
be
to
on
feel
that.
the story, like tell the
Mhm.
story, like oh yeah, I was over here doing shit.
I feel like drugs you should take one for like personal reasons, but not selfish personal reasons. If you're to the point where you can't go a day without them,
Mm-hmm.
or if somehow you just run out, you're planning to say smoke the next day and suddenly it's not there. If your reaction is violent and desperate, you may have a problem. But if you're just, that's okay, I'll find a way around this or whatever, or just go about your day, I feel like that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just do drugs to, I guess, be cool, is that's always been a thing. Like even in middle school, just like you don't need drugs to be cool. The cool people don't do drugs.
Like oh yeah, of course. Like Hollywood actors aren't
Uh-huh.
on drugs.
What?
Like all these rappers and rock stars don't do drugs. So yeah,
Mhm.
cool people don't do drugs. Like shut up, whatever. It's not like Steve Jobs tripped on
Mhm.
LSD before he created Apple.
I feel like just because it's in such a mainstream, and the legalization of is why we have such strong opinions about drugs.
Yeah.
But if it was just kept out of maybe the public view and wasn't made a huge spectacle of, I think people would know which drugs, just common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think heroin, common sense, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Oh no.
Yeah, like it's just nothing good. I've never heard of something good come from heroin.
That's a fucked up one.
Mm-hmm.
Because that one you get chemically addicted to as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only the effect, but it's a chemical. And the same thing really with like a lot of medications. That's why I'm like, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Like I believe in. I like how you put your phone down to look up. I saw that.
Luigi
I
just put his
fucking saw
phone
that. He's like, gotta listen to this one. But it's just like a lot of those meds really fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do you think there's an opioid addiction?
Yeah.
Like pandemic going on in the U.S. Because people like doctors literally hook you up on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only way they're gonna make money. Because those medications are very short term. They'll last you a few hours, a day,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. And then after that, like you're gonna get chemically like if you don't take your med. That's why you hear like that term like, oh yeah, I haven't taken my meds yet. Whatever. That's why I'm all fucked up. Because I'm hooked on these chemicals. On these medicals. And the only reason they're going to take them is because the doctor's wearing a white suit.
Yeah, and you
That's
would hope to believe him. I'd assume whatever
Well, you
doctor
choose
you
to
go
believe
to.
him.
Yeah.
So, it's...
Yeah.
And then you get, like, we go into psychedelics.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, they're not addictive. Let me tell you that. When you come back from a trip, the first thing you think of, you're like,
Isn't it
I'm not
recommended to
doing
only
this
like
again.
trip once a month if you're like a beginner or something like that? I remember.
Yeah, I'd say about
Yeah.
once a month. It's fine. Or really, it's just as comfortable as you want to be.
Mm.
But it just that's in. I'll do it this week, not next week. Because even then, you're not when you come back for like the first week, you're not gonna want to do it again. Because it's just like this mind-fucking experience they come back from. It's like, no, I'm not doing this again. This is too much. And like, you're mentally, like, you come back mentally exhausted, quite literally. Because that's what it does. Because, like, your brain is active for that amount of time, depending on how long it takes for you to digest it completely. That's how long the effect's going to be. That's why, like, LSD trips are 12 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's the way...
recommended not to sleep on them, or like very, very hard to sleep?
You're not going to sleep.
You're not going to?
No.
Damn.
Because they'll also do something to the dopamine as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll feel more alert. And, like, you'll feel that energy. That's why, like, microdosing, they do that basically for the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it heightens your senses. But... Or was I getting to this? Fuck.
I forget.
Oh, yeah. The reason they take so long, they take certain times because it's the amount of time it takes for your brain to digest. But then you hear about DMT trips. Like, you know why they're only 15 minutes?
Because isn't it like, that's just how much you can handle or whatever?
It's not that.
I know nothing about it, so yeah.
Well, the brain already has DMT in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's just called something else. It's something a little different. But really all it is that your reason... Yeah, it already has dimethyltryptamine.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever you take it in, whenever you smoke it, your brain knows how to process that so well. Because it already knows what that chemical is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it only takes 15 minutes. Because it already knows what it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So why is it... Because I know I've heard something about like an 8-hour trip, but it really is only like 15 minutes. Like, isn't time stretched for some people, or am I just...
Well, I mean, those 15 minutes will last for a lifetime.
Okay.
Because really you lose the concept of time. Because you're getting so much information thrown at you.
Yeah.
That you literally lose concept of time. So you don't know what's going on.
Damn.
But it's really like a 15-minute trip.
Mm-hmm.
And of course you have to be in a good mindset.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they say. About any drug. Because it's literally you and your self-conscious. Or your deep conscience. It's like stuff you didn't even know was there. It just exposes it. And it goes back into exposure that we need. Takes a drink. That was deep. You know what we haven't talked about yet?
What?
You haven't talked about Marvel.
God. Okay. God damn it. It's so strange to think because right. Do you remember me? You remember me always talking about Marvel, right?
You wore a Captain America shirt.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, it's so crazy because I expect, like, whenever I meet someone again, like, they to know, like, what I've been through or, like, my opinions on other subjects. Like, but yeah, Marvel's cool. Yeah.
Literally the last time we had a full conversation.
No, was it about Marvel, Luigi? The last conversation we had?
Contest of Champions?
Yes. I still play that game. Very, very, very minorly now.
They're talking about
I jump in like
concept.
once every month.
Mm-hmm.
What was the game?
Marvel Contest of Champions. I play it with my brother, and we've been playing it since the first Ant-Man movie came out. I have, like, yeah. There are years of time in that app.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been around since a little bit before Age of Ultron.
You've been around for it a little bit before Age of Ultron.
Yeah. So, like,
So that's
right before Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm. Because I know...
But it was so awful. I'm telling you, it was so bad.
He's talking about Age of Ultron, and I feel like what would have helped the movie, and also the CGI budget,
No, I meant
they
like
should...
the game.
Yeah.
I meant like the game, not the movie.
Well, yeah, but now I'm going into Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. Oh, okay.
Just because Age of Ultron, it is like one of the most unremembered Marvel movies. You have the original Avengers and then the others. what would have helped the movie, I think, and the CGI budget, don't make the robot so humanistic. It's a robot. It's not a human.
Yeah, that's
Don't give him a moving mouth. Just give him, I guess, something to what he looks like in the comics. His face doesn't move. He just talks. I feel like that really would have helped the character CGI budget and overall tone of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember that one. But like you said,
Exactly.
like you said, it's the one that you least remember.
Mm-hmm.
If you gotta rate the top 5.
Top 5
What's your
Marvel
top
movies
5?
for me? Okay.
I feel like you have it written down, set in stone.
Nah, they're just in my mind. Iron Man, I feel like that's either the first or the second one because...
Is that your favorite superhero?
Mm,
Or which one?
No, you can't give me another subject. I'm talking about the top 5 Marvel movies.
All right.
now. Okay, so we have either Iron Man as first or second, the Winter Soldier as also competing for first or second, and then I'd say Guardians of the Galaxy third. That is, oof.
That one's solid.
The
3.
first one.
First one, yeah.
The second one's also very good, but I knew nothing about Guardians of the Galaxy when I walked in that movie. Yeah, when I walked into that theater.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't even remember seeing any trailers. Like
Yes.
I bet I saw them, but I've forgotten them now. But it didn't take away from the film. Like I feel like that there's a huge problem with trailers nowadays, just giving the entire movie, the entire plot in the trailer.
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Oh.
God, what?
That's
You should left like how many did they leave any characters out, or did they just say every character is going to be in this? This is going to be the cataclysmic Marvel movie.
Yeah, that one and Endgame. Oh no, Endgame they left out a lot.
Mm-hmm. Endgame they should have left out way more. They should have made it way more vague because everyone's going to see Endgame. They don't need a trailer. If they didn't release a trailer, they would have saved so much money. Because
yeah.
everyone still would have seen it, and the reviews would have given it the trailer essentially.
Yeah.
I remember I saw that one, and
Mhm.
I took all all my cautions. I turned off social media
Which one?
for the end game.
Because spoilers, you knew they were going to be everywhere.
Yeah, like
Oh my god.
no.
It was spoiled to me
4
4 hours before.
Are you serious?
It was,
What
yeah,
happened?
and I still remember the meme account, and I'm not gonna, the meme account was
fuck them.
nuded. NOOTED, I believe. And the person behind it is like a year younger than me, our age, Luigi. So she just went through 2020, the coronavirus graduation, so fuck you.
That's karma, damn.
Like, dead ass. I'm so
Damn.
sorry for my friends who went through that.
Yeah.
But her, fuck you. And it was like one post, and her comment was just like, I know the hate. She knew the amount of hate she was gonna get.
Wait, what was the spoiler?
It was essentially all the major deaths. And I remember, like, I was just grazing it because it's what you do with social media. You're in a room and you don't know what to do, so you just go on your phone. You're scrolling down Instagram. And this post comes up, and it was like of a very deep fried picture of some cartoon character deep fried. But then it was just a list of just like all the deaths going to happen in chronological order. And what did I not? The only one I didn't see was Black Widow. But I saw every other death, and I was like,
So you saw Thanos.
yeah,
And then who else died? I don't even know.
Thanos.
It was just Thanos,
Yeah.
Iron Man.
I wish more people died. Marvel. I hate how Disney is in control of Marvel, because Disney's always going to go with the more family-friendly and not the
Dark.
more real-life controversial
Except,
stuff.
well, where he spoiled it, but
Yeah.
why
If
did they
you
only
haven't
kick
seen it,
out
that's a
Iron
point.
Man?
Yeah.
Why? That one was fucked.
Uh-huh.
There was
Iron-
definitely a lot more story with Iron Man than how he was portrayed.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
R.I.P. though.
Mm-hmm. I feel like he'll definitely be brought back. I feel like he has one more. He's going to try to do one more before he dies, Robert Downey. I can see him doing that.
I feel like he'll come back as like a hologram.
A hologram?
Like in the comics.
Yeah,
where he
because there is
has,
a...
like,
yeah.
his soul somewhere.
Mm-hmm. He downloads his consciousness with his Stark technology.
Damn. That's Elon Musk. That's
No, honestly, Elon Musk is
Elon
like our
Musk
Tony
is-
Stark.
Yeah, he really is.
Like, we need... Oh, my gosh.
All he needs is like the actual suit. I'm not
Mhm.
surprised if he's working on that already. It's just gonna fly over
Well,
LA.
How long ago was it, and which president was it that said we're designing like an Iron Man exosuit or technology, something like that? We're building an Iron Man. Was it Obama?
It was probably Obama.
Yeah, I can't imagine Trump doing that because, yeah, no, it was definitely
It was-
Obama. People
yeah.
would have ridiculed Trump.
Yeah.
It would have been so much more, yeah.
We're gonna try to build Iron Man suits for defense.
Holy shit. I was looking away from you and I just hear that in my right ear. Oh my.
That's
Yeah. I wonder where that is now, though, because
The
that was
Iron Man.
during the Obama administration.
like it was Donald Trump got rid of it.
Fuck.
Yeah, he is
Even take a sip of that.
I went for it.
he is
You know,
the he is the Iron Man
Mhm.
or it's Tony Stark.
He's our spaceman, that's for sure.
Yeah, quite literally.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that? Have you seen the new rocket? Or it's like a new Mars rocket, something like that. It looks like
Mm-mm.
a silo.
A silo?
Or like one of those like the ones you find at barns where like you put all the
A
shit in.
silo. Dang,
That's-
is it
that's
like
what-
that big as well?
I mean,
I'd
it's a
assume, yeah,
rocket,
it's a
so yeah,
rocket.
you'd assume. So at least that.
Mm-hmm.
It was so weird.
I wish I could go into space.
If we're gonna do space tourism, I'm down for that. But we need to send the flat earthers first.
No, they
test
don't
run.
deserve that.
No.
No. Like, I can understand just from like a, hey, fuck you, look at this proof right here. Do you see where we just came from? Look at that, you stupid idiot.
No, that's the point though.
Yeah.
In a test run, what if the rocket doesn't work?
Oh.
Oh, no. I'm totally on board now. I'm totally on board. I take back everything. We should definitely send the flat earthers.
Well, you
They
should-
need to be the guinea pigs, yes.
Yeah, they should be guinea pigs. If they survive, then it's
Guinea
gonna be
pig,
like a
yeah.
whole mind fuck.
Flat earthers, anti-vaxxers.
No, it has to be the flat earthers. It has to be
Yeah.
sending them up into space so they
The
can
second
see
batch
for
can
themselves.
be anti-vax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's my. You remember that modest proposal you had to do?
Modest proposal.
Did you not read that?
Not in
It
high
was in
school.
English. Fuck. Basically, what the modest proposal is. I don't know how the fuck I remember this, but no,
Yeah. The curriculum must have changed.
I don't know where it was from. It was like
What was the concept?
it doesn't matter.
Not
Basically, no.
Yeah.
I'm saying like it doesn't matter where I got it from.
Oh, okay.
But basically, the modest proposal
Mhm.
is. It was a book. It was something written in a satirical manner. I forgot who the guy wrote it or
Mhm.
everything. What I do remember from modest proposal is that they were trying to figure out a way to control the population so like we
Mhm.
don't get overcrowded, and the idea was to eat babies, and that was the proposal. But no, it was written in a satirical way, so it wasn't meant
I
to
mean,
be
it is a
fucked up.
way.
It
Yeah. No,
it
horrible
is,
way, but it
yeah.
is a way.
Yeah, technically it is.
No, he
And then-
succeeded at his job. If he was like on the council and he had to come up with that is an idea. He succeeded at his
Yeah.
job.
So and then I remember they made us write one, like our own
Mhm.
modest proposal. I think mine was we send all the criminals to the Arctic and we feed them to the polar bears. I think that one was mine.
To help the polar bear population.
We helped polar bears
There
and
you
we
go.
kill all the prisoners. So we kill all the bad people
Yeah.
and we helped polar bears.
But then we have to make sure that the people we're sending are really bad and they're not in there for just other
That
crimes.
is true.
Yeah.
That is. I know you're big into that.
Have you been seeing like all my tweets
Yeah.
and stuff?
Well,
like,
yeah,
oh my.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone should be on Twitter, even though it would add a lot more stupid stuff. But
Twitter is toxic.
But I don't know, the amount of information, the amount of information can be horrible, and there is a point where you need to take a break from that, but you really see like just all the bad in the world from
Mhm.
there.
Informed.
Informed. Yeah.
That's another monster. That's a beast I don't
Yeah.
mess with. I've started to
Like just staying informed. You mean the beast? What are you calling the beast right now?
Twitter.
Twitter. Okay.
Just a lot of weird stuff on
Mhm.
Twitter. There it is. A lot of fake information as well.
I try to fact check before I retweet stuff. Like like the I think the most thing I recently retweeted was Trump was he said an oil thing for an Arctic reserve of like something a good number of acres but just land, and he's now gonna oil it for some reason.
What? What the hell?
Let me pull it up. Hold up. Let me
Here, get it. Yeah, pull that one up. Jamie, pull that up.
I was about to say, yeah. I think
need
that should just be a thing for most podcasts.
I need to hire Jamie. Just like,
or at least be able to like still hold a conversation and have someone focused on their phone.
Yeah, like, hey, pull that up. That one video of like that monkey doing whatever.
Yeah, the Trump admin has finalized plans to open up the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to drilling, a move that will auction off oil to gas rights in the heart of one of the nation's most iconic and wild places, 1.6 million acres of coastal plain. Of course, the bias in there is one of the nation's most iconic. I've never heard of this. But still.
That's crazy.
I feel like we keep just assuming oil is the only way, when there has to be other ways.
There definitely are.
To just make power.
There definitely are. Have you heard of the Kardashev scale?
The Cardiff shift?
Kardashev.
Cardiff shift.
Kardashev.
Kardashev?
Yeah.
Kardashev, okay.
It's Soviet.
Yeah.
But what this guy says is that there's 3 types of civilizations. They're all based off of energy consumption. Civilization 1, or type 1, uses 100% of its planet. So in a way, we're getting there in terms of we're having all these green solutions like like wind power, solar power, hydro, geothermal, etc. And what he says is that type 1 civilizations use 100% of their planet. Type 2 civilization use 100% of their host star. So they'll...
So only solar, essentially.
Yeah. Well, not solar from Earth, but like solar from the sun.
Yeah.
They figure out how to travel to the star and grab its energy and use it. So they're basically a solar system civilization. They're no longer a planetary. They're multiplanetary.
Okay.
And then type 3 civilization, it's where you get like your Star Wars and all of that.
It's just like an inner community of planets.
No, it's when you get control of a galaxy.
Ah.
So you have type 1, it's a planet, like planetary energy consumption. Type 2, it's a host star. And type 3 is a galaxy. And that's kind of where it goes off. And humans are still in the type 0. Like if you put it into that scale.
Yeah, because there's a huge jump in time there. I think the other civilizations would have to find a way to make the technology to even use the stars as their fuel.
Yeah, so we're not even in a type 1 yet, but according, like pretty much at the rate we are, which is quite fascinating, we'd be a type 1 in a little over 100 years.
I think it's crazy, just the documentation so far of just history. We're only on year 2000. When, like, hopefully this will continue for a long amount of time.
Well, documented history started around 8,000 years ago.
8,000 years ago?
That's whenever, like, the ancient
Well, I guess just official, like, history, like, the basis.
No, that's based off of Christianity.
Yeah.
Because, like, tons of civilizations existed back then that we know of, and
but we still go off of, like, this is the year 2020.
Yeah.
Like, we base it off that.
Well, that's based off of the Christian calendar.
But that's majority, like, the well-known, like, right now, if you go ask someone, hey, what year is it?
Yeah.
They're going to say 2020 and base it off of that.
Yeah.
We're only 2,000 years in.
Yeah. Well, not really, just because Jesus, like the year zero, is way closer to us than it was to the beginning of the construction of the pyramids. So there was thousands of years prior to that, like thousands of years of advanced civilizations, quote, like before Jesus being the year zero, and whenever the start of the Gregorian, like the Christian calendar starts. But it's interesting how in like the scale, like the rate we're going nowadays, we can be a type 1 civilization fairly soon. Like 100 years is nothing in the evolutionary scale.
Would you say the type 1 civilization is bad, though? Like, overall, it's a bad idea?
Well, the problem is there's also a theory called the big filter.
Yeah.
And it's, all we know is that almost no civilization passes it, makes it through the filter. And it's like, I mean, of course there's theories.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the crazy one, it's like, if we don't find
what the filter is before it hits.
No, like, say we find alien beings, alien civilizations. If we're to find nothing but signs, but nowhere in like actual life, that means that they died off. And that could be that we somehow made it through the filter, which really I don't believe in, just because if there are ancient, like that's another theory that they go into, is that if there's a lot of intelligent beings out there, and we're like the ones that are just starting out, it means that the filter's ahead of us. So that at some point, almost all life's gonna die.
Yeah.
And then so like one of them's like, we're already past the filter, and there's no more life yet. We're the only ones. Or there's a lot of life out there, but we haven't gone through the filter.
And the filter is just the point where either they communicate with us or we find them?
It's a filter where almost no life passes. It's just like a certain point that you get to. And like some of the theories is that the big filter is going from type 0 to type 1. Because that's when all of a sudden you have all this technology you literally don't know what to do with. So you start killing each other. And that's kind of with the whole, there's signs of life on Mars, yet we haven't found anything. So like it could literally be anything. Maybe there was an advanced civilization there that somehow died off from God knows what.
Do you believe in aliens?
Oh yeah, they're real.
Okay, yeah.
If
you don't think there's other life, even molecular life, you're stupid.
No, there's definitely intelligent life out there.
I think one of the big, I used to be, I'd say religiously, I'm agnostic, atheist. I'd like to think there's a higher power out there, so it's not just like, this is it, this is life.
Yeah.
You're just a human. That's it. But I'd like to think
there's something else out there.
But yeah, it's something that got me like off the road, because I was Christian, I'd say. What was it? I was in middle school in one of my science classes, and we were learning about space for some reason, even though I don't think the science class was anything about space. But she just told us about how they took a telescope and put it to like a dark part in the sky, and they're just like, there's nothing. We've used the most powerful scopes here, and we're gonna take this telescope and put it there for like a certain amount of time, but it was a long time, so they were just testing, and they got back that dark picture, and from like a long exposure it showed like thousands of galaxies and stars.
Yeah, I've seen that. There's definitely, I'm like 98% sure there's something else out there. I'm just giving them room of error. But it's definitely something out there. And even the Pentagon recently confirmed that there are vehicles that are not made on this Earth.
Yeah.
and that's
Oh
what
no,
they said.
that was recently.
Yeah, that
like
was
they
that
were
was
just like,
last
you know what,
month.
everyone's talking about the pandemic.
that was last month.
A couple months ago. It was like
Well, that was when the videos came out, but there's also an article that came out last month that basically confirmed them that
Mm.
they recovered this craft that was not made on this earth.
Yeah.
So it's like we have the thing, but we didn't make it. Like something else made it because it's not unearthly.
Mm-hmm.
And then have you heard about the Bob Lazar's story and all of
Yes.
that? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that he
Very
goes
aware
into
of that.
element
Mhm.
115. That wasn't a thing
Mm-hmm.
in the 80s, or in the 80s.
Jeez.
And next thing you know, like 2003, whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
like they found a way to recreate it.
In 2003.
It was early 2000s when they
And-
confirmed the existence of a such element 115. And that's like the anti-gravity element that he was talking about.
Mm-hmm. I remember Mr. Rainey always talking about like reactors and generator and just creating power in general,
Yeah.
and how we need to shift from like uranium based like reactors to thorium. Do you remember him ever talking about that?
Yeah.
Just because it's a way safer element, but it's essentially the same as uranium, only it's just not as dangerous. And the only reason we're on uranium is because that gives us an excuse to have uranium, and therefore the excuse to have nuclear weapons.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna get him back on. Like, yeah, now that I have Luigi said it better be 4 hours. Like, god damn.
Mm.
But I can see it. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about the podcast time.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, what were we thinking
Shit.
of?
I have no idea. I was just going to listen until I like either figured it out or just like, you know what? I don't know what the hell I'm going to ask a question.
You were zoned out.
Yeah.
You've been zoned out throughout this.
I get very into my head at times.
Yeah, I can tell. You're one of those. I'm the same way.
One of those.
I mean, I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
I can
Yeah.
say that because I know I'm the same way.
Because there are times where I want to say what I'm thinking, but I try to, and I literally stumble over the words exactly like that. And whenever I make a mistake, I force myself to correct it because otherwise I hear it. I hear the mistake, so I
Yeah.
want to correct it.
Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot this question you didn't answer.
Mm.
What's your favorite superhero?
God, fuck. Honestly, Flash.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah. You never finished your top 5.
Yeah, I realized that,
You
but then I
did.
was like, we moved on from Marvel, so I'm not
I mean,
going to bring it up.
Well,
But here we
brought
are
it up
again, yeah. I'd say favorite
Remember-
hero overall, Flash.
The Flash.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, overall, his character, he's like FBI criminal analysis dude. He's super fast. He has a great moral philosophy
Mhm.
from some comic panels I've seen. But yeah, I think super speed would be everything. Even though it wouldn't be super speed to you, you'd still be going through everything. You'd still experience it at like, I'd assume, the time as you
But
experience
can
it
you
now.
fly though?
To the point where you don't even need to fly. You just sprint. You can just go.
But I don't see that bird's eye view.
Nah.
Shout out.
If I can move fast enough, I'm sure I can equip wings or something. Get some sort of like air flight to get me up there. But okay. So we have Iron Man, the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, just because no other movie. Well, other movies like tried to do it, but no one had succeeded as hard as that movie did.
Mm.
Yeah. And then, God, I'm gonna pull up a list just because I haven't.
What's the honorable mention?
A fun movie is Doctor Strange, even though it's not top 5. it's a fun movie, and I'm real hopeful for the sequel. I really hope they go hard with the horror and give Marvel, some taste and not just it's a Marvel movie. You're gonna get the same.
Like, it's Disney.
Yeah, you're gonna get the same. Yeah, God.
When did that happen? Like, the accusation of, or like whenever Disney bought out Marvel.
That happened before. I remember that happened like close to when Captain America was released. So like before 2012, yeah. Disney had control of the original. Yeah.
Because Captain America came out in 2011? Or was that Thor?
That might have been shit. The order is Iron Man, then the Hulk, then Thor, then Captain America, then Avengers. 2011, yeah. But yeah. Ooh, I also want to Star Wars, Disney and Star Wars.
That's
okay. That's a pin to watch. But let me.
they own the Simpsons now.
Yeah, that's so sad.
They own Fox.
I hate how
Simpsons.
Disney has so much now, and I want them to stop touching things. Just stop buying stuff. Stop being so big. You're Disney. Everyone knows you. You're successful.
It's a fucking mouse. It's
God.
like they talk about the mouse. I bet it's probably real. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, you remember from Ratatouille?
Mm-hmm.
It was that rat. That was
that
cooking all
rat?
the food.
He played himself. He made his own cameo.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, in a way. He was basically representing how that's what he does with Disney. And that's the main bitch. Disney, I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm. Also, Spider-Man: Homecoming, I'd say for 5th.
That's your number 5?
Just because of that plot twist, and I'm not going to say any more about it, because if you didn't notice it, then you're... Yeah. Nothing. I was just staring. Might be.
You just started staring.
Yeah.
You were gonna say something before the Spider-Man.
Was it about Star Wars?
Yeah, we're talking about how Disney controls everything, and that the mouse is running behind it.
The mouse.
Pretty much everything, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they own ESPN.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
they've had it a
They
while
have that-
ago. Where do
they
you
have
think
that Hulu
that?
bundle, where you can get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN?
For like $14.99.
Yeah, which is like a good deal, but still, that amount of stuff from one place.
Like, why do you think the NBA is playing there? So, like, Disney pretty much owns the NBA as well.
Actually, no, the NFL.
I'm sure
Mhm.
they're
Yeah, they're
buying
make-
the NFL soon.
They're making moves.
I don't think right now.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, that's literally what they say after they won the Super Bowl. Like, hey, I'm going to Disney World. Ooh,
That is
like
the
that.
that is the trope. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's just marketing.
So Disney owns fucking NFL. They own
Mhm.
the NBA. They own ESPN.
They own Marvel. They own
They
Star
own
Wars.
Fox.
They own Fox.
Yeah, that's where they got the Simpsons.
Not Fox News, right?
No.
I'm sure.
You sure they own? Because
They possibly do. I mean, they own ABC.
No, you're right. Yeah,
Oh.
That's so
And they
scary.
bought out Fox like fairly recently.
Because
I
know at ABC they do run Disney commercials,
Mhm.
and as long as you keep like just putting like Disney-owned properties in front of people's faces, they will buy some. They
Mhm.
will remember them.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
ABC. I was getting to another one. I don't remember. But yeah, they own all of that. It's all,
Mm-hmm.
and they talk about the stories of like how fucked up Disney is in terms of they'll cut you out like that
Yeah.
out of existence, and then like yeah, it's that fucking mouse.
And they're still like expanding their theme parks
Yeah.
to other continents, countries.
See, I do look up to Walt Disney in terms of how he started it. Like,
Mhm.
have you seen the Disney?
Tom Hanks.
What?
With Tom Hanks or no?
Oh fuck!
I don't know if you're gonna bring out the documentary with
No,
Tom
no,
Hanks
no,
or
no,
something
no.
else.
No, but I gotta watch that now. But no, like I was looking into how he started out Disney World, because he wanted to create a city basically, or like, yeah. And then he didn't like the idea of Disneyland, just because it was small, so he didn't have control of like the properties that are immediately outside of Disneyland. So he tried to buy like a big enough place for it, and like he started scouting and eventually found a place in like outside of Orlando. Basically what they did is they pumped out the entire swamp. Cuz like you know how Florida is, like
Yeah.
the Everglades are down south. Yeah, they pumped out the whole swamp
Florida itself,
and they
is,
started building.
Just from like what's it called when it's like from like a map standpoint, just because it's a peninsula, it would have like such unique naturistic vibes. What the hell? Naturistic like tones, like environments. It's so unique to it because it's a peninsula. But I just hate how you can remove, how other companies, they just remove entire ecosystems that should have been documented, recorded before they were taken away.
I mean, it was pretty much a wasteland.
Yeah.
So that's why like he bought the property next to nothing. But what he would do is that he created a bunch of puppet names, like puppet companies. So no one would gain any speculation on Disney World. In fact, he actually had like a multi-million-dollar renovation on the other park in Disneyland, so it wouldn't see like Disney's trying to buy it. But then they started to figure out like, yeah, it's probably Disney who bought out the property, and yeah, it was him.
I've been to like Disney World a couple times, and really it's just a very more well kept place than Six Flags.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
If kids are dying to go to Disney World just because they hear it's Disney World, you know, like just the name behind it, you think it's Disney World. It's full of the movies, full of the fun rides. But I've seen parents at their worst at Disney World on some of the buses,
really?
Screaming at their kids to like stop crying and stuff. And you'd think the only reason parents would bring their young kids is because the kids want to enjoy it. But if the kids are crying, then like, what was the purpose? Yeah. Thank you, Luigi. No, I'm just trying to like include you to the mic because I know it won't.
It just popped up to my head.
No, you're good.
But yeah,
I didn't know that.
there should also be like a minimum age for phones, but also a minimum age for Disney World. Because one, will the child even remember? Like,
No. Like 4.
yeah, you're 4 years old. You're not going to remember anything. And then you're going to say, oh, I've been to Disney World. Oh, really? Tell me about it. It was fun. What else can you say? You're not going to remember anything. You're going to remember your parents yelling at you on one of the monorail buses back.
How you cried while
Have you
Phoebe.
have you done any of the cruises?
I've been on 2 Disney cruises as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot Disney
Yeah.
had cruises.
My parents, like, they signed up with the Disney Vacation Club early, so they just get a ton of benefits now. But cruise ships they're so enclosed. I do not like them. And there's really not much to do, at least for what I did. I'm sure it'd be different if I was there without my parents, because I'm always going to factor in, like, I can't do stuff they would disagree with. I can't just talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been, but I probably wouldn't do it.
I'd say it's cool. I went to see like some parts of Italy, a little bit of Spain, I think. It was like one of those type of cruises.
When was it?
It was shit. Last summer, yeah. Just getting my summers right. But yeah. It was very fun just seeing, I guess, the history and also the architecture and the fact that it's still some of the Italian towns, the marketplaces that I saw, they're still there after hundreds of years. I saw Pompeii. That was neat.
I haven't gone down to Italy yet, but I need to. I feel like you'd get like, or when I read Disney, I always sense that vibe.
There's always kind of, we had like,
it's like a sketchy one.
I never feel, I don't think I've ever felt like everything's okay while on a Disney cruise. I knew there was always some exploitation somewhere. I know the cruise cabins aren't as spacious at all as what ours were. I know they have to like live in bunks, and they're just, but then again, people are only doing it to what, doesn't Disney have like that visa thing?
Oh no.
Disney has like a visa thing where if you work for them for like a certain number of years, you can get like a visa to come over to America or something.
I didn't even know that. Damn.
They usually do it for some of Epcot. I'd assume, Epcot's both in the international. They want to have people from a certain country just to get that aesthetic, essentially.
Yeah.
They want it to feel genuine, even though it's just mass-marketed amusement park.
That's crazy. I didn't even know about that. I gotta look into.
Yeah.
I gotta look into that for sure. But
I don't know.
It has a sketchy vibe for sure.
Yeah.
It's just.
Do you know if the Maxwell case with Epstein, has that happened yet? Has her testimony been released or whatever?
Do you know anything about that,
Luigi?
No.
You're fine. Just about Ghislaine Maxwell. I know I said her first name wrong. She was like Epstein's co-conspirator, essentially his second man.
Well, this is the first time hearing about it.
Yeah.
No, no, I haven't heard of that yet. If anything's happened,
Just because the amount of
move
connections
forward.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. I really have, those are like one of the few things I literally have no words for. Just because, like, it's fucked up in a sense. Like, a lot of people will say, like, oh yeah, I didn't know, like, the island had so-and-so. But when you're there, you're gonna figure it out.
Just to have that much, to be that like public of a figure, because I know I've seen Epstein before, like before he was, dead.
Yeah. Quote.
Yeah. But just to be able to have that much security, for it to go on for that long, to have that many high profile public figures a part of it.
Yeah. It's, I really have no words for that.
It's like, it's honestly the modern day JFK, but with less coverage because it's not a president. It's just a mass.
Well, it's not that, because they don't want their
pedophile.
people to get caught.
Yeah.
Like, you really think they're gonna let Bill Clinton get caught?
Oh, God.
Get caught up in that.
Dope ring? Yeah, but just with human trafficking.
Children.
And children. Yeah.
And they'll try to like. Yeah, it was a whole pedophile island. Literally, he would literally. All right. He would literally invite like A-list people to a private island, and they would have kids there. Like you remember like the whole thing with Michael Jackson? It was like the Neverland.
Yeah.
But it was like its own island, but it actually had children, and there's proof that he had children on that island. Like, he just invite people out. It's like, hey, Bill Clinton, come to my island.
What's his first name? Epstein?
Jeffrey
Epstein.
Jeffrey
Right.
Epstein.
God, I couldn't remember.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, it's very fucked up.
And if anything, he was just like the front man for it. He'd be the person to go down, because I'm sure it's still there. And I'm hopeful that other agencies are looking into it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has the whole thing, because of course he has a lot of money.
I'm pretty sure it's connected to also Pizzagate.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't even know where to begin, because I don't know like any of the information. I just know Pizzagate. It's about underground child sex trafficking ring.
Yeah, going on in like the government. I wouldn't be surprised. It has to be connected. Because there's theories that Epstein was trying to catch them red-handed,
Mm-hmm.
and that was basically like the way he figured out how to catch them red-handed, as in having a island of his own,
Yeah.
and he was gonna try to catch them that way. Something like that.
God.
But it's still
Mhm.
it's still fucked up that you have that. And then of course they're gonna shut him up.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that. What was the story? Like he just killed himself?
Yeah, he killed himself, even though he was on suicide watch, and both guards fell asleep during the time.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's no footage.
I think that would so stupid. You should always have footage. You should always have someone else in the room.
Oh no, of course there is. I mean, there has to be cameras. They're on 24/7.
Mhm.
Our mics are on right now, as we speak, quite literally. What do you think Alexa answers to? Hey Alexa.
I hate Alexa. I will never own one of those things in my house.
I mean, they all do. Even Siri. You can program your phone to like answer to Hey Siri,
Nah, I never use Siri.
and that means
Yeah.
it's listening in already. Because
Even
that should
though
listen in.
they are listening. I just try not to think about it.
That's a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a fucked up place.
Probably the biggest intelligence agencies out there are Apple, Google. There's one other, possibly Disney,
Facebook.
Facebook.
But Disney's the biggest one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Disney, Facebook, Apple. Yeah. Jesus.
Amazon.
Amazon.
I mean, they literally have all your information.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're talking about the cyborgs, like how we already are cyborgs.
Yeah.
Like your phone knows everything about you, or like most that there is about you.
I wonder if Jeff Bezos knows like how much power he literally has.
He knows. He definitely knows. Like, he's not stupid.
Yeah.
He can't be stupid with that much
No.
money.
You,
There's no way.
The people who you actually realize who is stupid because the people don't get up to the point where he is.
Yeah. Like the man's
Mhm.
over 100 billion.
Yeah.
Like you don't get there by accident. So of course he knows that he has power. They can just turn off Amazon one day, walk away with his money.
Yeah.
We're all fucked. Well, shit, it was tough having you. It was already
Mhm.
over 2 hours.
Damn. No, you were right when like you said you won't notice the time.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that last one was over 3 hours.
Jesus.
But yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, he just
It
started
was
talking.
great being on. This is definitely the podcast experience.
It is. Hopefully down the line, I'll have like an actual place where like
Mm-hmm.
it'll be an actual.
You gotta
experience.
start somewhere.
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
gotta continue. That's what
Yeah,
matters.
I just started recording shit. That's really
Mhm.
about it. There's
Have you had Joseph on here?
not yet. No. I'll get him on when he's 18.
True. There you go. Avoid. Ooh, that's a good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's even what I did with Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I don't have that like weird thing going on. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're 18.
But also, so
Like-
it just won't come up later.
Yeah, like they're 18. They can cuss.
Mhm.
It's all good. It's explicit. But it was great having you on here,
Mhm.
man.
Thank you for having
It
me.
was nice little talk, even though it was something. But see everyone later.
Yeah.
Just in the mind.
Mm-hmm.